Right, we're going to start off by deploying the OVF template from the CD. We go File, Deploy OVF, and browse to the OVF that is on the Data Recovery CD-ROM. We're now going to run through the wizard and choose the settings for our appliance. I'm going to name it. Choose where it's going to be located and which store it's going to be stored on. Which network does the appliance need to be connected to? And just finish the wizard with a summary. You now see that the OVF is deployed, and we'll get a progress bar telling us how long this is going to take. Right, our appliance has now been deployed. I'm now going to edit the settings for the appliance. I'm going to add an additional hard disk to the VM. This is where my backups are going to be located. You've got a couple of different options when it comes to storing your backups, and we'll go through those later. So we're now going to power up the appliance. And we're going to go and view the console so we can set up the networking for it. Okay, we can now see that the appliance is booting up. What we need to do is set the IP address for the appliance. I'm now just running through a simple wizard that asks us for all the IP address information so we can configure the appliance. I'm now going to install the plugin for managing data recovery. I'm going to go to the CD-ROM with data recovery on it and choose the option data recovery. Right, if we now go back into the vSphere client, we now need to check that the plugin for data recovery is enabled. We can now see that's enabled, so we can close that and go into the plugin. If we go back to the home screen, we now notice there's a new icon, VMware Data Recovery. We now need to set the IP address of our appliance used for data recovery. On the welcome screen, we type in the IP address and hit connect. When you've connected to your appliance, you'll get a wizard similar to what's on screen now. You need to run through it. For the SCSI disk that we attached earlier, you need to format it so data recovery can use it. You're also able to add a network share. To add a network share, click the Add Network Share button. You need to put the URL of the server. Make sure you use the IP address, otherwise that can cause issues. When typing your username, make sure you type your username at domain name in that format, otherwise again you can get issues connecting to network shares. I've already got a network share there, so I've cancelled that. I'm going to run through the rest of the wizard, view the summary and click finish. We can now go to the backup tabs and click new to add a new backup job. We can see a selection of machines with backup and choose which ones for this job. I'm only going to choose demo web. We do get the option to select disks if we don't want to back up all the disks on a VM. To choose my location, I'm going to choose the network share to back up for this demo. And this is where we get to schedule our backups. We get to also set retention policy, how many backups are going to be kept. I'm going to choose few to keep the smallest amount for this demo. There's a summary of the backup job we've just created. Now we've got a backup configured, we're going to look at some other tasks. I've actually allowed my backup to complete once, and we're going to go and have a look at reports. You've got several different sections there. You've got the events, which will show you any backup related events that have been carried out. You've got running tasks, which will show you the progress of any running tasks. Virtual machines will give you the status of backups for your virtual machines. We can see that Demo Web has completed a backup today at 12:49. If we also have a look at the VM, you can see that it has a green tick on it, which shows us that the backup is completed successfully. We can also see that the tick appears on the VMDK beneath it. I've just chose backup now, and as we can see the progress of the backup job. This is a good place to come and monitor how your backups are doing. Now we can have a look at the restore options. You can see a similar menu as we saw in the wizard earlier. We can choose which backup we would like to restore from. We then hit the restore button to open up the wizard. We can see that we have two red diamonds on the VMDK and on the disk. We also have a number of different settings, such as restore configuration, reconnect NIC and power on. The red diamonds alert you to the fact that you're about to overwrite your virtual machine. For this demo, I'll cancel at this point. We also can do what's called a restore rehearsal, which means that we'll do a restore from a backup, but we'll create a new VM instead of overwriting our existing VM.